When Ayash first arrived in the sprawling, chaotic city for college, a wave of loneliness washed over him. The towering buildings seemed to press in, and the endless stream of faces felt alien and cold. He was just another lost soul in a sea of millions, scared and utterly alone. As he slid into the back of an old, worn-out taxi, his hands trembled, betraying the anxiety churning inside him. The driver, an elderly man with deep wrinkles etching the corners of his kind eyes, caught the slight tremor in the rearview mirror. Instead of just starting the meter, he turned around, a gentle smile softening his features. "You remind me of my grandson," he said, his voice warm and steady, cutting through the city's noise. He was just as nervous when he first left home. "Are you new here?" Ayash nodded, unable to find his voice. The driver's smile widened. "This city can be intimidating," he continued, "but it has a heart, if you know where to look. Tell you what, the meter's off. Let me show you the real city." Before Ayash could protest, the taxi was moving, but not towards his dorm. The old man, whose name was Mr. Sharma, became his impromptu tour guide. He drove Ayash not to the famous monuments, but to the places that truly mattered. "See that little stall," he'd say, pointing to a bustling eatery tucked away in a narrow lane. "Best samosas in the city, and cheap enough for a student's pocket." He showed him shortcuts to the university, quiet parks to study in, and the safest routes to take after dark. With each turn of the wheel, Mr. Sharma shared more than just directions. He shared stories from his own life tales of coming to the city with nothing but dreams, of working hard, of raising a family on a taxi driver's income. He spoke of discipline, of the importance of honesty, and of never losing sight of who you are, no matter how big the city gets. His words weren't lectures, they were pearls of wisdom offered with the simple grace of a man who had lived a full life. That first ride turned into a ritual. Every weekend, without fail, Ayash would find his way to Mr. Sharma's humble home. They would sit in the small, sunlit courtyard, sipping sweet, milky tea. Mrs. Sharma would bring out plates of homemade snacks, her smile as warm as her husband's. In that small home, Ayash found the family he had left behind. Mr. Sharma became the father figure he desperately missed. His advice a steady anchor in the turbulent waters of college life. He'd listen to Ayush's worries about exams, his frustrations with difficult professors, and his small victories in making new friends. He'd offer practical advice, a funny anecdote, or sometimes just a quiet, reassuring presence. He taught Ayash how to haggle at the market, how to fix a leaky faucet, and how to stand up for himself with quiet confidence. He wasn't just a guide to the city's streets anymore. He was a guide to life. Years passed in this comforting rhythm. Ayash was no longer the scared boy who had arrived with trembling hands. He was a confident young man, thriving in his studies and navigating the city like a native, all thanks to the kindness of a stranger. He saw the city not as a concrete jungle, but as a place of hidden warmth and connection. Then one day, the weekend tea was cancelled. Ayash got a call from Mr. Sharma's son. The old man had fallen seriously ill and was in the hospital. Ayush rushed over, his heart pounding with a familiar fear, but this time it wasn't for himself. He found Mr. Sharma looking frail and small in the stark white hospital bed, his usual vibrant energy dimmed. For the next few weeks, Ayush's routine changed. He spent his days in class and his evenings at the hospital. He'd read the newspaper to Mr. Sharma, tell him stories about his college life, and help Mrs. Sharma with whatever she needed. He sat by the old man's bedside, holding his hand the same way Mr. Sharma's steady presence had once held his own anxieties at bay. One evening, as Ayush was adjusting his pillow, Mr. Sharma's eyes fluttered open. He looked at the young man he had come to see as a grandson and whispered, his voice raspy, "You should be studying. You have your own life." Ayush shook his head, a tear tracing a path down his cheek. He leaned in close and said, "You helped me when I was lost, when I knew no one. You showed me what it means to be kind, to be strong. You were my family when I had none here. Now it's my turn to be here for you." In that sterile hospital room, the bond that had started with a simple act of kindness in a taxi came full circle. It wasn't a bond of blood, but it was just as strong, just as real. It was a testament to the fact that family isn't always about who you're born to, but about the people who show up for you when you need them most. It's about the strangers who become guides, the mentors who become fathers, and the connections that turn a big, scary city into a place you can finally call home. This story is a beautiful reminder that a little bit of compassion can change a life, forging a connection that lasts forever. Thanks for watching. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that celebrates the best of humanity.